Okay, now we're getting warm here. What was I going to say about this?
That it's awesome.
No, I had a point. Credentialism, him yelling, professor. Oh, I know what I was going to say.
It feels like password.
What is outrage?
It's something you put in a box.
In addition to comparing this to Jeffrey Dahmer, and I know we get tired of the what-if game, but imagine if this were being said by pro-lifers.
Yeah.
That would be on every network in America right now. No, it's always the left. It is always the left being violent.
Yeah. Bill, isn't the real problem here not the fact that not that they advocate violence, is that they're middle-aged male and they still have earrings?
I didn't notice that, but it would make sense considering what they were using there. How long have you been doing TV? It's not called blurring. They're not blurred. It's called gauze. Have you ever seen Elizabeth Taylor in a White Diamonds ad?
Yeah.
When you're of advanced age and you don't want the public to know it, you request gauze in your rider. These two teachers were probably not that attractive, and they know what's what when it comes to being recorded in the corner of a room. They look gorgeous.
I am
it
humbled.
worked.
I am humbled.
And I want to buy his earring.
I'm humbled.
I want whatever he's selling.
I just like the idea of the
TV
kids
101,
going
dude.
from labor studies class to peace studies class.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
All right. So last night I told you how much I enjoy wrestling fat men in kiddie pools. I do, but I also love charity. So let's get to my latest piece of art. It's called Unicorn with Mop. It's a unicorn with a mop. So you can tell it's a mop. I wrote it right up there. This is kind of the Norma Ray period of my artistic growth. Now, I got some great bids already. Luke Garcia offered $1,000, but only if I call Bill Schultz a degenerate D-bag. But since Jackie Heath actually bid $1 more, $1,001. She's now ahead. Her husband Malcolm is stationed in Fort Lewis right now, so I'd love for them both to win. But then Mark Centani, a previous winner, offered $7,500 for that. But only if I stop offering any unicorn art, which is pointless because that's all I draw are unicorns. So that was kind of mean. I think it was directed at me, not about the charity. So you have till next Friday. Actually, we're going to be off because what's going on? The royal wedding?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we might have a show on Friday. I don't really know. But you got till Friday to beat the $1,001 bid. Might go to next week. So email your offer to redeye@foxnews.com to be considered. And as you know, all the money this week goes to TAPS, a nonprofit group that provides grief counseling and support programs to families of fallen soldiers. You can go to taps.org to learn more. And let's not forget the real message here. It's not really about charity. It's about me being able to cut in line at the emergency room. Hey, aren't you the guy who does charity? Why, nurse? Yes, that's me. Well, I think we can get you in before everybody else. Thank you, nurse. The pain is excruciating. So let me get this straight. You fell on this fluorescent tube? Well, let's not get into specifics here, nurse. Coming up. So what have koala bears been up to lately? Well, Ann Coulter discusses her new book, Betrayed, Koala Bears and Their Relentless Attack on the Right. Wow. Yes. Is Lindsay Lohan heading to jail, Han? We can only hope so, Han. Does hardcore belong amidst hardcovers? Or are libraries too lax about porn in the stacks? Well, in New York City's libraries, they still exist. You can check out Henry James and Jenna Jameson thanks to a policy that allows adults to view anything they want on computers. Explains a spokeswoman. What happened to her? In deference to the First Amendment protecting freedom of speech, the New York Public Library cannot prevent adult patrons from accessing adult content that is legal. Illegal content's a different... No, that doesn't sound right. That's a different story. Am I high?
Yes.
Under U.S. law, public libraries must install filters to block stuff like child porn. But if local governments want to further restrict viewing, they must set a policy. One solution to the problem? This. It's Red Eye's porn viewing box. You can change the sign whenever you want. For example, buying Mother's Day gifts online, whatever. And of course, you know, not looking at porn.
I feel like the box is covering the wrong head there, Greg. That's not what people don't want to see.
You know, Bill, that's not something we need to hear. Anyway, now it's time for questions with guests, because you threw off my rhythm. Hey, Michael, aren't they just saying it's okay to masturbate in public libraries? Isn't that what they're saying?
Well, no. If you're viewing porn, there's a very fine line, I agree, but there's a line between viewing it and masturbating. I mean, I've watched my share of porn and have been unenthused.
Yes.
Is it too late for me to switch seats?
Come on over, big boy.
Yeah. Nick, aren't libraries so desperate that they've given up? Now it's say, like, please come in and fondle yourself.
I want to find out if you can download that porn onto your Kindle and take it with you as well.
Well, you can't.
Oh.
That's a violation of artists' rights.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
No,
fair
we had
enough.
this discussion that if you're like on a plane, let's say you're on a plane and you're watching a movie and there's a nude scene, there's a kid, you could get arrested, right?
Really? By the Sky Marshal?
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I'm curious as to whether or not the libraries, if it was Clarence Thomas, say, looking at longdonsilver.edu,
He never
would
did
they
that.
be as quick? Oh, yeah, no, of course not. But would they be as quick to say, yeah, anything goes? But I think it should go.
How
And
did he
I don't
bring us back to Clarence Thomas?
I'm going to
you know what,
punch him.
Right here, beat down, red eye beat down. No, but it's the library shouldn't filter anything. As long as it's legal, it should be widely available.
What do you think, Ann? You got kids
think-
coming to the library. They don't want to see
you
Bill
don't.
Schultz with his pants down.
No, I know, and I
Going to anyway.
As long as we can see two black girls beating up a tranny at McDonald's, I do not know why we need to see that at the library. Point one. Point two, you were correct about the whole masturbation thing. The First Amendment,
thin line
of which I am a fan. In fact, we ought to put it in the Constitution. It's so important, free speech. The idea is you are communicating. The idea is not that it is the equivalent of a
Muffin.
Yeah.
If what you're doing is the equivalent of a
Muffin.
then it's not communication. It's trying to create an erection, even if it doesn't work on Mike McDonald.
Although to be clear, if what you're doing is the equivalent of a
Muffin.
be sure to call me. Get a hold of me via Fox News. We'll talk. We'll hang out.
You're
Coffee.
communicating something.
You're a like-minded individual.
You're not saying that porn should be illegal. Or are you? I mean, as a First Amendment enthusiast.
Right, but I don't think the First Amendment covers porn. Well, it clearly doesn't cover obscenity.
But,
I think the definition of obscenity has been gotten down to absolutely nothing. And the real meaning of the First Amendment, for one thing, it was to communicate political speech. Let's start with that.
But I would say this,
Beyond that,
part of the First Amendment is
moreover, Lady
freedom of
Chatterley's
assembly.
lover sucks, so I don't want to hear about that.
Yeah,
Lady Chatterley's lover didn't suck.
The weird
and
thing
that
is
was
a lot
part
of
the
people-
problem in the book.
a lot of people.
Nice.
What do you want?
24
I've got to go. I've got to go to the
24
tees.
years of schooling.
I've got to go to the tees.
It was worth it,
Greg. I'm the
It
good
was
guy.
All I was
worth
gonna
it. That
say-
women's lit thing was worth it.
All right, we got to move on. All right. Do you have a comment on the show? Email us
I'm
at
so sorry.
redeye@foxnews.com. By the way, the founding fathers, the whole point of the Constitution was about porn.
Muffin.
Porn freaks.
Yeah.
Voicemail 212-462-5050. Still to come, the halftime report from TV's Andy Levy. That man has a problem. We all know that.
Tonight's halftime report is sponsored by Footy Crafts. Those small toys, needlepoint paintings, or other items created entirely by using only one's feet and a tremendous amount of skill. Thanks, Footy Crafts.